Hi, I'm Nick from SBS, here with the Director of Technology, Ed Mullen.
Hi, Nick.
How you doing?
Great.
So we have two big drivers in front of us, and you know, they may look exactly the same, but they're actually a little bit different. But let's start with the similarities. These are our 4000 series drivers, and looking right up top here, what are we seeing?
Okay, let's start with the cone. We have a very lightweight and rigid cone, and that makes for very pistonic behavior with no cone deflection, which is very low distortion and clean sound. But the cone is actually extremely lightweight, which improves driver sensitivity and also maximizes amplifier power.
And that's a glass fiber composite material.
Yes.
Okay. And now looking at this surround, what makes this unique in terms of a high performance subwoofer?
This is a custom tooled surround. This is what we call a parabolic surround, and that sort of refers to the shape of the surround. Most surrounds are a half round, whereas the parabolic surround allows for more cone excursion in both directions. So we get more stroke out of the entire driver.
Move more air, greater SPLs in room,
yep.
All the good stuff that you love about a subwoofer. So moving down somewhat into the internals here, a lot of people probably don't know what a spider does in relation to a driver. What can you tell us about the spiders for these 4000 series drivers?
Okay, these are the spiders, and they center the cone in the suspension, and they allow for long cone excursion in both directions while keeping the voice coil centered in the gap. These are very long throw spiders, and they also have tinsel leads that are integrated into the spider with balancing tinsel leads on the other side to prevent rocking of the suspension under high stroke conditions.
So pinpoint accurate control of that driver and of all that cone.
Yes, the voice coil is perfectly centered in the motor at all times, regardless of how much stroke the driver is delivering.
I'm glad you mentioned the voice coil. What are we looking at in terms of the design for the 4000 voice coil?
We have a 3-inch edge wound coil that is 8 layers, so it has very high power handling capacity and is able to dissipate a lot of heat, so we don't get any thermal power compression out of the driver. So even when the driver is being driven to very extreme levels, the voice coil stays cool and is able to convert electrical energy into mechanical motion.
And when we're talking about what creates that mechanical energy in motion, we have these big magnets down here.
Yes, this is what we call the motor structure. And despite the fact that these two woofers look almost the same, they're actually quite different. This is the driver for our SB4000. And you might be able to see in the video, the voice coil is partially exposed. This is what we call an overhung driver. This driver topology is optimized for the sealed box alignment and that size cabinet. So we've optimized this driver for the SB4000.
So for the ported version, what kind of structure are we using?
As you can see, actually as you can't see, there's no voice coil visible here. This is what we call an underhung driver. The voice coil sits completely in the gap. This driver is optimized for a ported alignment. The PB4000 and PC4000 use this underhung coil, which is optimized for the ported box and also a much larger cabinet.
And holding it all together, we have this highly refined basket, which actually is pretty underrated in terms of overall driver design.
Yeah, this is actually a custom tooled aluminum basket. This basket's extremely strong and rigid, and it holds the entire driver together and prevents movement and distortion that would be caused by a lesser basket. Maybe a thin stamped steel basket wouldn't be able to withstand the forces that are generated by this motor structure and driver.
So at the end of the day, it's really kind of like an ecosystem of all these different components working in perfect harmony to produce a absolutely effortless low frequency extension and output, and just really energizing a room with no effort at all.
And that's exactly right. This is a custom design driver for the PB4000 and PC4000. This is a custom design driver for the SB4000. Yes, they do share similarities, but they're quite different internally, and that's how SBS can maximize the performance from the entire 4000 series.